My name is Bella Freud, and I'm a fashion designer, and I'm also the daughter of Lucian Freud. Looking at the sketchbooks is very moving and tender, I feel, because I have very little recollection of him making those sketches. It seemed like a very different process. You know, I'm so familiar with getting the canvas, looking at the page, how I would be, how it would be, what he would do with the charcoal. The sketchbooks was a whole different process. I do think there's a tenderness in those sketches that sometimes isn't in the paintings, because there's all these little different nuances and different positions of tilts of head or things that he's noticing about his sitter. And I think looking at the sketchbooks, and what's so interesting about them is seeing how much thought and feeling he had about his sitters and how much he cared about, what was happening at that moment. When I come in here and I see those, I have this wonderful feeling of what we had, our bond, and how much that's meant to me and how it's made me strong. It's clearly, working things out. And, he very much never seemed to want to be an expert or good at something. He wanted to challenge himself all the time and be pushing forward. If you're an artist, then every bit is kind of part of what the end result is. I remember very well the paintings. It was like almost getting ready for a race. You're in this pose and you know that you're in the best position that you can possibly be in. And with the sketches, it's more, being sort of observed in that way is, I suppose it has a sort of family-ish, like a paternal, I'm more conscious of his paternal attitude towards me. And so I feel the tenderness of our, relationship and his affection and love